Hey there everybody, welcome to episode 5 of Crystal Gardens. My name is Shadow Phoenix and I'm glad you guys are still watching the series. So, it is a brand new year, lots of things happening. I won't get into too much about it today because I'm still kind of fleshing some things out and kind of, figuring out what I'm going to do for the new year, how things are going to change, etc. But there are going to be some changes coming and they're all for the good, at least I think. So, lots of big plans. And to try to make this channel and my presence and everything a little bit bigger online. So, what we are doing in this episode. So far, we've built our entrance, which was an amazing entrance. We've built a train station, which also turned out to be equally amazing. We've got a coaster in the park. We've got a flat ride in the park. But now it's time to kind of finish up the entrance somewhat, like our plaza area when you walk in. So one person actually did write in one of my videos, am I going to be doing like plaza buildings and stuff like that, like on Main Street? Not necessarily a Main Street, but yes, an entrance plaza will be done. So the building I'm working on right now, which took a lot of thinking and eventually I kind of just started like doing a building and just kind of letting it just kind of control how it went basically. Just adding a piece here, adding a piece there, and just seeing what it looked like, and it just kind of come out really nice actually, and kind of fit the theme that I was going with, which is not really any particular kind of theme, but just a theme in general. Is generic a theme? I think generic is a theme, and that's kind of what I was going for. Just pretty and generic, basically. That's a theme. We're going to say it's a theme anyway. Alright, so this building is our locker rental building, and I wanted it on this side. I kind of wish, I don't know, that I had a little more space here to put maybe a few more buildings, but then again I couldn't really figure out what kind of buildings I wanted to do. So anyway, I just thought this was a good idea. So the next object here is to put the lockers inside of the building once we finish the little details and stuff of it. But I really liked how this came out. This is one of my favorite buildings. There's one building here on Main Street you guys aren't going to see me build, which is the guest services building. I did not record that footage, but I did record other footage. So here we are creating our lockers. What I did was took the abstract pieces. I put like a shelf on there first, and then I built these little square pieces and put a bobble inside of it to make like the little lock, where you put the key. And then I just kind of repeated the process over and over and over all the way around that. It's a very simple method, but in the end it came out beautiful and they really do look like lockers. At least I think they do, and I hope you guys do as well. So I just kind of copied it and went from one side to the other. I did have to work a little bit to try to get the pieces in, so that they don't stick out the back of the walls and stuff, because I didn't want that to happen. But yeah, it came out great. And then I just had to like rearrange a few things, and there we go. So this is just going to be repeated on the other side of the building. And I feel that would be enough guest locker rentals for the entire park. We may do some more, like maybe outside of rides or something later on, but this was a good start and kind of, I thought, a good Main Street building to have. This is something a lot of parks and stuff are doing anymore, mostly like Disney, but I've seen other parks do it. I think Kings Island may have a locker rental building now. I think Six Flags does it as well in some places. Maybe Cedar Point. Not 100% sure, but I do know it is something that has become increasingly popular in parks over the last few years, or decade maybe. I don't know. It's been a while since I've actually been to parks, but yeah. Alright, and then we had to kind of work our thing into the actual the Main Street itself, so that we don't have these gaps in the what you guys know what I'm trying to say, the gaps in a path. Basically, we had to work the paths together so that it doesn't look strange. That was a pain in itself. I don't even remember what I ended up doing here. I think, yeah, okay, so I used an old trick here that I had found. I've done this previously, and that was basically just using the scalloped flat roof to kind of put the colors in there, and it kind of worked. Another method is you can use the rough brick chimneys and place them upside down, and if you get the colors just right, it also matches that texture right there, which turns out pretty good. I didn't want to do it too much though, because when you do too many pieces, you can definitely see it, but in small places it actually turns out really well. And then of course I put a little bit of foliage in there and everything works out great. I previously had built these little fencing things before I started recording there, and I'm going to put those around the back of the building there, and we're going to do some like basically some staff buildings and some other stuff like that. Backstage areas, that's what I was going to say. Next object on our list today that we're going to get done are the front ticket booths. Again, when I started this, I just kind of had a basic idea. I didn't really know what I was going to do. I just thought, let's see how this turns out. So I put these buildings down here and then went and put the wooden beams across, and I thought, maybe we'll put some like a little bit of shading in between the buildings, and we'll do that, and we'll maybe put some vines or something on top of it and see how that turns out. And I really wasn't sure how I was going to do the roofs of the building. I was just going to kind of wing it and see what would come out. And to be honest, almost every single thing I'm doing in this park at this point is winging it. I have a basic idea, and then I put that basic idea down and then wing the rest of it. And for some odd reason, when I wing things, it just seems to come out good. I guess you could say it's winging it. It's also letting the building build itself. So I've said that before, and it is something that does seem to kind of happen. So I don't know. Just basically trying to beautify them. I knew I wanted some of these like ticket booths up front, and I kind of got an idea here. I don't even remember who I saw do it, but to just kind of put the little pieces in there, little abstract curved pieces in there. And then put some doors on the back of it so our ticket people can get into the little booths. And then put down some paving around the back or the sides of it, down to the bottom, just to kind of get it a little more base, I suppose. Because, it's all about that base. Anyway, bad joke. Alright, yeah, then we'll put some of the foliage down around the edge of it, and just these boxy green thingies. Oh, I forgot what they're called, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. After we get done with this, we will probably most likely work on the next building in our list, which is going to be on the left hand side. And this one gave me a lot of problems because I had no idea what I was going to do, but it should be coming up here in just a minute. I'm still trying to figure out like other things to do with the entrance. Oh yeah, this was where I was trying to figure out how I was going to do the roofs, and I was like, I really don't know. I think I ended up with them being flat at first, and then somebody said, those are way too flat. You should try something else. And then I did try to put some like edges on it, but I don't even remember. I know I put it. Eventually, I did do like an angled roof, like a very, very small angled roof, and yeah, this is what I did. I used these pieces right here to kind of give it a little bit of, like not flat, basically. Flat just wasn't working for me, so I had to put some angles in there. And this was not easy either. I had to figure out how to cover them up, so I used the just the wooden beams, and that seemed to work well enough. And then just repeat everything on the other side, and that worked out great. We also, as you can see, I did some gardening in the front before as well. We're going to do a parking lot eventually as well in this, at the front of the park. I'm still building this. This was back in October, I think, when this was recorded. So we still didn't have the update yet where we could do the like edit scenarios. So I had limited space to work with at the front. Now I actually have a ton of workspace to do. So I'm going to go back and actually redo the parking lot that I previously built to begin with. And then we just go back to this building and finish up the other side. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did one part and then went to the other. I think I just really wanted to do a just like a front kind of thing. Just do the ticket booths, and then I come back to this. Oh, and I completely forgot about this building. This building, I want to do a restaurant on each side of the park. So I wanted a guest service building, something guests would use at the front, and then a restaurant on each side. So one side has the locker rentals and this restaurant. The other side has another restaurant, more of a bakery, but we'll get to that. And the guest services building, which would house an ATM, but technically it would be where people would do like other, like lost and found or things like that. This building actually came out pretty quick. I didn't have a whole lot of problems with this building except with trying to get the roofs and stuff like that. Yeah, the roof line was hard, but I did eventually get it just right. And yeah, I was thinking like a tower, and then, but not a huge tower, just something kind of small. I'm fairly certain I got the scale right on this as well, but hopefully you guys would agree on that as well. I use as well a lot. I'm using a lot of words like at the same time in the same sentence. I don't know why I do that, but I'm doing it. So I'm rambling as well because I'm trying to make this video go kind of quick. It's almost 20 minutes long, and I ramble because I don't know what else to say. I mean, I can only talk about what I'm building on the screen for so long, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I put some of the striped covers, striped canopies over top of the windows there. I don't know. I guess it feels kind of like a TGI Fridays or something like that, and I guess it's kind of what it is supposed to be, but more of a little classier than a TGI Fridays. But it is an indoor restaurant where, you know, it's a sit-down restaurant, not just a food stall or something. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So my basic thinking was this was going to be the main restaurant. Well, maybe not main, but this was going to be like the food place, while the other side would be a bakery, you know, where you could get cookies and candy and things like that. While this side would have like hamburgers, hot dogs, you know, your drinks and stuff. So in order to cover up this side, I ended up doing this little like flower bed, but not really a flower bed. It's more of a again, I cannot remember the names of these stupid things with the green squares. What are these called? Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue, and I cannot remember it. But yeah, okay. So I did that, and then I just kind of fancied it up a little bit. It wasn't easy to figure out what to do there, but this works. I like how it came out. I really do. And I like to put bases around my buildings as well. I do that as often as I can because, it just adds a little more detail to the building, and I really like doing it. And then we just put these little cypress trees right out front, and I sink them into the ground, and the coloring, and that is pretty much this building almost done. We'll do some foliage around the back of it to kind of give it a little bit of depth and just a little bit of beauty. Add our trash cans on each side, and there we go. Yep, everything's working pretty good. Okay, some benches so people can sit outside if they want to eat outside and have their food, and then we're going to add the actual things on the inside. Now, something you will notice is I left the back of this pretty much blank. I don't think I went back and did the back of the building until later because I was more or less just interested in the front of the building and how it was going to look. The rest of the stuff can be added on later on when people aren't actually, you know, watching the time lapse or anything like that, or, you know, when I'm not actually recording. I don't even know what I was doing here. I was doing something, but I don't know what. Oh, yeah, this is where I added the ivy to the top of the things. Yep, and that worked out pretty good. I tried to do some signage out front. I was like, you know, what if we want to advertise some stuff in the front of the park? How could we do that? So I was playing around with that, and then just kind of was like, nah, I don't want to do that right just yet. All right, and then we come over to the other side of the park. On the side of the screen down there, just to your left, you can see our guest services building. I will try to jump into the park and give you guys a little bit of footage of what these buildings and stuff look like currently at the end of the video. Hopefully, I won't show off too much more of what's already been built in the park, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to see some stuff that, you know, you probably shouldn't yet, but it's okay. Think of it as teasers for next episodes, because, you know, maybe it will get you guys excited to watch more of these. So I tried a few different things on the front of this just to kind of see what I could do. I think I ended up going with the canopies again. I was trying to angle them there in the building to try to give the building a little more oomph, sort of. You know, to not make it so square, but I don't think I ended up actually liking how it turned out. Now, this sign I did really like, though. I thought this worked out pretty good. And I called this place Granny Smith's. Now, there's a reason. This is kind of an inside joke, and I don't even know if the person at the inside joke is even remembering what this is, but there's a person that I watch on YouTube. She's a good friend of mine. She is one of my mods in my channel, and her name is Maite. And I was watching her channel one day, and we were talking about apples or something like that, and something about Granny Smith. I don't even remember what the joke was at this point, because this was back in October. But it was not the most safe for work joke. So, but yeah, we were talking about bobbing for apples, and somebody said you just don't want Granny Smiths or something like that. But that I was right after I watched that video, I started working on this, or not video, but after I watched her stream, I started working on this, and that's where I was like, hey, I'm gonna call this Granny Smith's. I don't know, it's a stupid thing, but I really liked how it came out, and it fits the part pretty good too, because it's more of a wholesome, even though it was a not safe for work joke that it's based off of, it's more of a wholesome name for a bakery, you know, because, I mean, whose cookies do you want best? I mean, you know, do you want to eat like Leroy's cookies or something like that, or would you rather have your grandma's baked goods? You know, I mean, it's just obviously you're gonna choose your grandma. Now, I had some trouble trying to get the little canopies to work there on the side, but I found angling them actually worked pretty good, and that worked out great. So that's what I ended up doing there. And going back and watching this video, I was having some trouble with these things again in another place. I think I may go back and change that now that I remember how I did that. But, okay. So yeah, just kind of change those. You do have to get the angle just right. In other words, you get those little rope things come out the side. And then I just copied it to the other side, because, I mean, why do everything again when you just copy it? It's a single building. Add some windows to the top of it. The coloring is, like, on fleek with this building. I really love the colors of it. It's beautiful colors, and so simple yet elegant. I love it. And this was where, I mean, basically I was kind of thinking, you know, you could get candy apples here, you could get cookies, lemonade would be sold there, maybe homemade milkshakes, something like that, homemade ice cream maybe. Yeah, you know, things like that. So it's more of a bakery kind of ice cream shop, you know. It's where you get your sweets. Then I was thinking, you know, how am I going to do these? I want to put something underneath of the trees to kind of give them, you know, not that they're just coming straight, like, I don't want them to be growing right out of the concrete. And I kept trying to figure out what else I could do here. And I wasn't able to really find a whole lot, other than just a couple of pieces. Then that's what I ended up going with. I was trying to find something, I think, to put in the middle of it to make it look right, but I don't think I ended up finding anything. Nope. Alright. So that is going to be it for the end of this video, guys. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. We're going to be doing some more coasters, adding some more things to the right side of the park. So until then, I'm Shadow Phoenix signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hey everyone, if you'd like to help support me and my channel, I have a Patreon page where you can do just that. You can pledge anything from $1 or more. Anyone who pledges $15 or more gets a unique, specially designed roller coaster and Planet Coaster made just for them. My little way of saying thanks. You can also just send donations as well if you don't want to join Patreon. And you can find those links in the video description below. Every tiny red cent I make from these means the world to me and is extremely helpful. If you're interested in my PC setup that I work with and play on that you see here, every piece of the system is described below with links to Amazon if you want to purchase them or anything else. Thanks for tuning in to my videos and my channel. If you aren't already a subscriber, click that on the screen below. And you can also check out a few of my other videos on the screen here as well. You can keep up to date on what's going on in my own little world via Twitter or watch me stream live on Twitch as well. Links are in the video description below. So wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.